Charity is important to all of us in Gibraltar, as we've already heard in today's show. Our next guests are undertaking a 5-kilometre swim in England's largest lake, Lake Windermere, to raise funds for Cancer Relief Gibraltar branch. The Great North Swim will happen this Sunday, and Jason Mesilio, George Posso, Tito Danino, Owen Smith of the Bluefin Club will be there together with our two guests, Terence, Ocaña and Darren, Grech. Good afternoon. Not sure why that's playing, sorry. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. Why the Great North Swim?
It's an iconic swim. It's a swim that is tough. It's 5 kilometers, which doesn't seem like a lot in terms of the swimming that we do here, but 5 kilometers is, to have a bit of perspective, from the Morrison's car park to around Little Bay, if you were to go walking, or from Western Beach to around Little Bay if you were to go swimming. And of course you got the added hurdles of water temperature being normally below 15 degrees, and it's always quite muddy and horrible. So yeah.
Colder,
less buoyant, fresh water, less buoyant.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, we all experience it. No, in the summer, even if you're not sort of doing a lot of open water swimming as you are, you go swimming in the sea, and then all of a sudden you go for a swim in the pool, and you realise that that's actually quite a lot harder, isn't it, Terence?
Yeah, there's several challenges, and these challenges will affect swimmers in different ways. I mean, it's like you've just said, the cold water immersion is one of them, and it's very sapping, very energy sapping, especially when you're doing long distances. You also have to consider things like the sea states. Even though it's a lake, it's in a very susceptible to westerly weather fronts, so it can chop up, which will make it harder for us to swim. We're not spring chickens anymore, so we all carry injuries and chronic conditions which we have to factor in. And believe it or not, one of my biggest worries is the use of a wetsuit, which is quite an alien concept.
Right. You don't use one here?
Well, normally we don't, and we've had to train using wetsuit as well, which, again, different challenges, a completely different type of training, and personally one that I really dislike.
So you don't use one in Gibraltar because of the buoyancy?
Yeah,
the temperature, I suppose, moreover, no?
Two things. I mean, personally, I don't particularly feel the cold too much, but I mean, some of my fellow swimmers do. Salt water makes you a lot more buoyant, so the need for wetsuit is limited, but some people do need to use it because they feel the cold, which is fair enough. Going to Lake Windermere, like Darren said, water temperature around 14-15 degrees. Not only
in Gib, it's what normally?
Well, during
now this morning it was 18. 18. So 4 degrees, and it's not a linear progression down.
No.
1 degree drop, the body feels it in a way, and then the next degree drop, the body feels it 10 times as much or 5 times as much.
No. It's a typical. The temperature Windermere now is a typical winter temperature in our waters.
It's a January temperature at Eastern Beach on a westerly.
Right. So the coldest that you'd normally feel in
fresh
Gib,
water,
no? And in fresh water. Yeah. Okay. And Darren, we heard Terence mention injury. I know that you're recovering from one yourself. No?
I went for a training swim around April the 14th, and then came home and tried to open a furniture drawer, and the drawer was stuck and my back said enough. So yeah, it went, and I have a little annular tear on the disc, but it's been on on the mend, and I've had a bit of a rehab session, but you've just been talking to Colonel Brancato, these people gave the ultimate, or paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Feels silly to dwell on a back injury.
I'm going to do this swim, and that's it. End of.
Good man. No, but it's a reality that you had to deal with. No, and I know that you've been doing a lot of not just rehab, but training in the pool because of the fresh water. How has the training gone?
Very boring, Terence.
Yeah, I mean, training comes in all shapes and sizes, I suppose. Personally, I've clocked up 3 months of 55, 56 kilometers, most of them in open water, some pool sessions up in Louthbury to get used to the fresh water, some unsuited, some suited, some with hybrid, once a week or once every 10 days, a longer swim, 4 kilometer plus, interspersed with 2Ks and 3Ks with rest days in between. So a bit of variety to try and basically cover all possible bases that we might encounter in Windermere. We might be lucky, the water temperature is 15 and above. Personally, I won't use a wetsuit.
I've seen some of the photos of I think hundreds of people, doing the swim.
There will be on the day, there will be 10,000 people from all over the world, professional athletes.
Wow.
There's different categories. There's a 250 meter swim, dash. There's the 1 mile, then there's something else, and then the 5 kilometers and the 10 kilometers. And usually in the 5 and the 10, you're going to get professional athletes going. And what they do is they give you different colored hats. So you're wearing your chip and you start on a staggered start, and then you have different colored hats and off you go. And then they just obviously then make a list of the times and accordingly.
Usually this sort of event, it sounds like it's very well organised. No?
Yes, it seems to be very well organised, yes.
Great. And all money is raised going to Cancer Relief Gibraltar.
Cancer Research. Cancer Research.
Sorry, I thought I'd copied pasted, but I'd written it badly. Sorry. Cancer Research Gibraltar. Tell us why that's the chosen charity.
Well, as we all know, cancer affects everybody. The statistics, 1 in 2, but really it affects everybody, either directly or indirectly. And this charity, we've worked with them before many times before. We normally once a year we do the equivalent of their Walk for Life, but we do it as a 4 kilometer swim, and we quietly, and privately raise a little bit of money for them. At a personal level, when Darren proposed the swim, I had lost my mum to cancer, and I thought of taking up the challenge as a way to honor her memory and celebrate her bravery in that kind of adversity. So whatever sacrifice we have to face is nothing compared to what sufferers and their families go through, as Darren mentioned before.
And all the fans, every single penny that is being donated is going directly there. We are funding our own way there and paying for our own stay and the swim registration and everything else. So every single penny is going into the charity.
Brilliant. Well, we wish you every success with it, and hopefully you will. I'm sure we will hear back on how it's gone. Yeah, send us some photos on Sunday afternoon, and we can post them on our social media. Thank you so much for joining us, Darren Grech and Terence Ocaña. Right, the Great North Swim. We'll let you know how they get along on Sunday afternoon.